Hi, my name is Tajane Walker, and today I'll be giving a little bit more information on what LSD is. So, LSD is lysergic acid diethylamide, shortened to LSD. It's also known as acid, which is what the street name for it is. It comes, acid is like a sheet. It looks like kind of like paper. It can have different kinds of like pictures on it or something like that, and a whole sheet consists of like multiple different tabs, and I don't know how many tabs people take normally, but like they're pretty tiny. They're like a square. That's what a tab is, a little square, and a sheet is just like a multiple different squares or tabs. So basically, what LSD does to the body, it just changes the structure of our nerve cells, just what every drug does. It mimics serotonin, so it binds to serotonin receptors, which is why also people feel the things that they feel whenever they take LSD. It also changes our perception, our feelings, our behavior whenever we take these drugs. And also our thoughts too. It just attacks our whole body. And many people, after taking this drug, they feel that they have a new sense of awareness of life after their trip. And a trip is basically just a high, It includes the hallucinations that LSD causes, and these hallucinations can be anywhere from mild to extreme. And there's a such thing as a good trip and also a bad trip, and a lot of people say that bad trips happen whenever you're just not surrounded in a good place, but honestly I feel like you just can't help if you have a good trip or a bad trip or not. It's just whatever LSD is going to do to your body. It's just however your body is going to react to it. And these trips can last for multiple hours as well, even after the drug has been completely wiped out of your bloodstream. You can still be in a trip. And just to give you guys an example of a real life story of somebody being in a trip after taking acid, I'll tell you the story that my uncle told me. So my uncle was once incarcerated, and as we all know, sometimes drugs get smuggled into these prison cells, right? And so he told me the story about how an inmate who was in the cell next to him got a hold of I guess a sheet of acid, and this inmate, maybe he felt paranoid, or maybe he thought that the guards were going to come and try to confiscate it or search his room to see if he had any drugs on him. So him being paranoid, instead of just taking 1 or 2 tabs, like I feel like is the normal amount that you should take, or that people take when they do acid, he took the whole sheet that he had. And I don't 100% know if it was a whole sheet or if it was just like a quarter of a sheet or half of a sheet, but instead of just taking 1 or 2 tabs of the acid, he took the entire amount that he had. And my uncle told me that this man his trip lasted for days, and he ended up having to go to the hospital, or I guess, I don't know, wherever they send the inmates in prison. But yeah, it was not a good trip at all, and it probably didn't help that he was in prison as well, and was like surrounded by 4 walls, But yes, I was told that the inmate was screaming for hours and hours, and he was banging on the walls, and he was having hallucinations that there was things crawling on the wall and stuff like that around him. And again, it did not last for just 1 hour or 2 hours or multiple hours. It lasted 4 days. But yes, so that was my kind of brief but informative lecture or lesson and story of what LSD is and the effects that it can have on your body. So thank y'all for listening. I hope y'all have a great semester.